before I get to saying what, looking at ODM, let me just speak about ODM directly. You know, when you look at ODM, if it will survive or not, you need to understand what ODM was. ODM had 3 pillars. The first pillar was for the ideologues, the people who believe in ideology, the strong social democrats, the center of the left that Raila represented, the very spirit that gave us the second liberation, the ideologues, Baba himself, the Sifunas of this world, the Orengos, the Anyanyong and others. That is one pillar of ODM. Then there was the pillar of the people who brought in money, the Cash Money Brothers and others, the resource arm. That was the second arm for ODM. It's important for a movement to actually have support for resources. There are guys who are in ODM courtesy of one thing, that they had resources. Then there's the third arm in ODM. That third arm, I call it the arm of violence, the arm of enforcement, the arm of the masses. Now, these 3 pillars are essential, but they are not sufficient in and of themselves, because they needed the overarching umbrella of Raila Odinga, the person of Raila Odinga, who made these 3 ingredients make a party. Why do I say that? Because ODM, outside of KANU, there is no other party that was, I'm talking about KANU of old. The present day KANU is just a CBO. So, because ODM has attempted to do, I'm a party leader, it's a new party that we are building, and I desire to build a party that looks like ODM, because ODM has actually done elections. It will go to the grassroots. Long time ago, when I was sick and probably mad, I was a member of UDA. And we tried to do elections in that party. And that is how that party died, including chasing of their number 2. So I know, because I've been a member of ODM and other organizations when I'm not so well. And I know when I speak about what ODM is. So once you understand what ODM is, then you realize this. Then you also have to understand who Baba is. Baba is much bigger than ODM, way far. ODM is just one of Baba's legacies. But technically, ODM was a tick on Baba. ODM was a parasite that found life and relevance from siphoning blood from Baba. And like the Swahilis say, ukitegemea uji wa mgonjwa, mgonjwa akifa unakufa. Mgonjwa akipona unakufa. So, ODM as a parasite that depended on Baba. Once the host dies, the parasite inaweza kuzunguka around for a couple of years. Like for example, ODM is the great-grandchild of Ford Kenya. Ford Kenya is around. You can decide what it is. Whether it's a county-based organization or a community-based, you decide on your own. So, ODM as a great-grandchild of Ford Kenya, you know what Ford Kenya under Jaramogi was. So, you are going to see a number of things move around. You're going to see a little bit of activity. You're going to see a little bit of passion. So, what remains today is the memory of what ODM was. Because those 3 elements that I've spoken about that make ODM were only based on one anchor. And that was Raila Odinga. Without which ODM is not able to work. So, of course, that then brings me to the person of Raila Odinga. There's one thing people have spoken about, and a lot of times people do not understand Baba, especially when they speak about handshakes. You know, a lot of times, and I see a lot of people who are on social media here, we speak of Kenya as the capital of Africa. It's not just cliche. If you look at demographics, Kenya is actually Africa's capital. For this reason, that we have got Bantus here, we have got Kushites here, we have got Nilotes here. We have got people from North Africa who came by ship. We have got Arabs here who call this home.
Semites?
There is no other country in Africa that has got, and I'm talking about not special cases like South Africa and Liberia. I'm talking about original African countries. There is no other African country that has got as many African ethnicities gathering in one nation as Kenya. It's only second to Uganda. So, one thing that Baba mastered was something that we call consensus building as a skill in leadership. Consensus building here, you're talking about collaborative problem-solving skills. Because when you bring together all these people in nationalities and you cannot have a majority, people will have to collaborate and work. And that is the ingredient Baba brought in. Today you might not find so many people in ODM who are able to do that. So, now having understood all that, now you can come to the question, will ODM survive going forward. ODM died on the morning Baba died. What you have now are memories, echoes, shadows. KANU is about 62, 65 years old. We still have got KANU moving around. Nowadays, you look at that cockerel, looks like it's featherless. Even KFC is much stronger than KANU's cock. You can see Ford Kenya is still around, moving around. Some other older parties like Sifuna, for example. We have got about 103 political parties that are fully registered and about 140 others that are in the process of being registered. You do not know so many parties. So, technically, ODM, the party that Baba had founded, is not there. So, at the moment, it will find a new host, and that new host is William Ruto. Ndio hiyo parasite inaenda kukunywa damu hapo kidogo ikisurvive in the meantime. But in the long term, there is no ODM. So, short term, you are going to see a little bit of movement and activity. Kupe ikitoka kwa ngombe wakati ule ngombe imekufa, hiyo kupe inaweza tembea hata wiki mzima bado. And wiki politically could be up to 2027. But beyond that, unless a miracle happens, and by the way, miracles do happen. There's even a church called Maximum Miracle Center. So probably miracles could happen after that. But from where I sit, there is nothing called ODM going forward after that. If you look at those ingredients and how they made ODM.